Okay, here's another ALEKS problem for us on molarity. Calculate the volume in liters of a 0.76 moles per liter. So there are going to be, at least this will contribute 2 sig figs to the answer. And I think this is confusing when you see it written like that, moles per liter. The way I would write that, just for my own so I don't get confused, is 0.76 moles per liter. You can see when I do that, that makes it into a conversion factor that I can flip around. So I can flip that around, and I can also use in 1 liter, there are 0.76 moles. Either of these is a conversion factor. Sometimes when we write it in a sentence like that, that just confuses people. So 0.76 moles per liter, or molar, sodium thiosulfate solution that contains 175 grams of sodium thiosulfate. Okay, calculate the volume in liters. Be sure your answer has the correct number of sig figs. As I can see it, the answer better have 2 sig figs. Okay, so I never start with a conversion factor. Now I know somebody will say that they do sometimes, or you should sometimes. I just never, ever start my calculations with a conversion factor. Rarely, if ever, in these types of dimensional analysis problems. So here's my starting point right here, 175 grams of sodium thiosulfate. So 175 grams of sodium thiosulfate. Alright, let's get that thing into moles. So I know, thanks to Google, that there are 158.11 grams in 1 mole of sodium thiosulfate. Okay, and I don't mind using Google. I don't mind you guys using Google. Just make sure on a test that you know how to calculate the molar mass based on the periodic table. Okay, so it's asking for this in liters. The only other thing really I have left here is my conversion factor. And because I want these moles to cancel out here, sodium thiosulfate, then I'm going to use this conversion factor right here. So I know that there are 0.76 moles of sodium thiosulfate in 1 liter of sodium thiosulfate. Alright, let's go back and cancel my units. Grams do cancel. This is a true statement. There in 1 mole, there are 158.11 grams of sodium thiosulfate. So these will cancel out. This is a true statement because I get it from my conversion factor. And so if I solve for that, then I get, let me pull up my calculator here, I get 1.45. Okay, 1 point, and so if I get that to 2 sig figs, I got 1.456 on my calculator. I need 2 sig figs, so that will be 1.5 liters of sodium thiosulfate. So again, to review, right here's my molarity, which I almost always use as a conversion factor. I'm just going to rewrite that so it helps me. Here's my starting point. And it asks for the answer in liters. We set up our dimensional analysis, and this was actually a pretty easy one. I think you guys should be able to do that. Alright, go team.